I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. Are you ready to reduce your water?
I just ran to the restroom.
Not
talking about that? No?
Nope.
No? Oh, darn. Okay.
Your water usage restrictions may be coming this spring and summer. We'll get into this hour. Winter drought continues to deepen across Colorado. I was down Durango area, just bone dry. Just like almost like no snow whatsoever on the grounds. It was wild. Let's go back to the small town struggles conversation. Mary in Wyoming. Good morning, Mary. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Hi, good morning, guys. I was going to talk about the opportunities in the rural areas. I have friends who have what do you call it's not a hobby farm. I mean, they have 50 cattle, huge amounts of flocks of chicken and ducks and goats and things. Yeah. They're struggling because their vet, which was I guess there was more than one vet with them, but it has closed, which means they can't get their cattle inoculated or tested for, fertility. Also, they struggle in getting handy person, like someone like the, what do you call the welder, or the ones that blacksmiths. Those, I think, they're the job opportunities, like back in those 40s that you talked about. Those jobs will be really in need.
Now, Mary, you were just saying there, just to interrupt for a second, you were saying there that your friends on the farm keep goats. I'm just saying every once in a while, would they be willing to take some excess goats, maybe from a friend of mine? I'm just asking for him, just in case he sometimes has excess goats.
I can't offload my goats.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking for goats.
You're looking for goats?
I'm looking. I'd like to get it. I had heard. I've sent you pictures of them. I had. Yeah.
I will give you my goats for free.
Really? I only need 2.
Yes,
and
Mary.
I love them if they were pregnant.
They're Nigerian dwarfs. That is not.
Oh, that's what I had.
Well, there you go,
that's
Mary.
Look what we're doing here on the Jeff and Bill Show. We are solving problems, and making people's lives better.
These dang things.
But yes, but the problem was and my vet was with National Western Stock, so she used to come over after the stock show, and and give them that. I had, would you believe, a 3-story, planks, etc. For them to hang out in.
Yeah.
She loved it. She used to tell all her customers, her patients, about how much my goats loved that.
That is fun. That is a lot of fun. Well, we'll definitely have to connect.
But those kind of things are missing in the rural areas now. And like I said, my friends are having to go 100 miles now to get vet service.
Yeah, it all seems to be consolidating around these big cities and government jobs. I think this is what the socialists want. I think this is the future that they want. But
there's opportunities, I think, for looking down the road. But you're starting to see a comeback to the trades now. And I believe that's the renaissance that'll be happening with the rural area. Especially, Bill, do you remember in January 1st last year, you had people call in with their predictions?
Yeah, I still have it buried under the carpet behind me here in the corner. Yes.
And I called you with mine where I told you I believe that there was a 10.5 earthquake coming. And I believe it's coming this spring, which is going to cause a renaissance because we're going to lose roads and bridges, and we're going to have to go back. The food thing is going to be a big issue, and people are going to have to go back and start farming and to replenish the food supply throughout not only this country, but that's going to be needed throughout the world.
Mary, the prophet, the oracle of Wyoming, please take her warning seriously and learn to farm
Jeff,
again.
I am interested off air. Let's talk. I'd love to get those goats.
I'd love to give them to you. All right.
But Mary, the one thing is, shh, we can't tell Mrs. Jeff about this. Just saying.
It's a little bit of a hurdle here.
All
right,
a little bit of a hurdle.
Wyoming, thank you. All right, we'll continue. Now is time for the news.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Good Wednesday morning. 28 and sunny in Denver, expecting a high of 49 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, DJT, spoke last hour at the WEF in Davos and then sitting down and answering questions afterward, discussing fraud in Minnesota and in cities across the country. Maybe in this one right here. They're trying to clean it up.
It could be more than $19 billion. Can you believe that? That's just one state. If we were able to cut out 50% of the fraud, 50%, and we should be able to do better than that, we would have a balanced budget without having to talk about even growth. So we have a lot of options, but we're working very hard on that. That's a big deal. It's not just the protests, the fake protests done by agitators and, professional.
Yep. And then in his speech prior to sitting down, more on the criminals invading our country.
Somalian bandits. Can you believe that they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought? I always say these are low IQ people. How did they go into Minnesota and steal all that money? And we have, they're pirates. They're good pirates, right? But we shoot them out of the water just like we shoot the drug boats out. They're not pirating too many boats lately, do you notice? When they go out into those boats, they want to take over $1.5 billion tanker, load it up with oil. And they say, we're going to blow up your boat. They have powerful weapons. You hit the side of the boat, you blow the whole thing up. The insurance companies are petrified, so they say, just give them the boat. We'll give them money instead. And I don't do that. We blow them right the hell out of the water. We see them going out, we blow them.
And maybe the most powerful, exposing all the countries getting over on the U.S. 47, said that's over.
That the United States is keeping the whole world afloat. Many places, I could give you 6, 7 places just in the people in this little area. I know every one of them. They're looking down. They don't want to see me. They don't want to stare me in the eyes. But they're taking advantage of, everybody took advantage of the United States. But I've been very fair, and I gave them a tariff, and it was fine. But I realized that without us, it's not Switzerland anymore. Without us, it's not any of the countries that are represented here. And we want to work with the countries. We want to work.
And it should be an interesting day the rest of the way. The press is following him right now, and I'm sure he'll have more for them.
He's saying they're not going to use any types of troops to seize Greenland. I think that's a missed opportunity.
You think so?
I just think it'd be really easy.
Well, that's true. Absolutely. But you don't want anyone. You don't want one life. You want to cost anyone's life for that.
Well, it'd be easy to take. It'd be harder to hold. That'd be the issue, because you'd have to hold it. That'd be the thing.
The Denmark people have been holding it for quite a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Have they been fighting over it? Has there been active armed skirmishes?
No.
And that's the issue, is that the Denmark and the military in the area, while again not going to put up a huge fight, they're trained and have the ability to fight long-term there. And I think we have a single division, the Arctic Angels, I think is the one. Again, I think that's it. That's really trained for that sort of long-term.
Speaking of bringing things back in Colorado, 10th Mountain.
Again,
they're ready for the invasion of Greenland.
Yeah. Again, I don't think that anyone has really thought about the downstream consequences of if we attack a NATO member, because all the arguments that Trump is making about Greenland, we could accomplish all of that now. We could add more troops there.
Billy, these are countries that can't even keep their own borders closed. They can't defend anything.
And it's weird. It's almost as if we had an agreement to help them defend their borders if they were invaded. It was an organization that evolved in a lot of North American countries, and I think it was a treaty of some sort. I don't remember. They had a cute acronym at one time, but somebody's president seems to ignore it and not understand history. But that's it. Yeah, that and the idea that he talks about $13 billion in fraud is also a farce. Earlier on in the quote too. So well, it is a tour de insanity with Donald Trump in Davos today. It's great.
Well, what
Strap
would you
in.
have to talk about? If it
I
wasn't
know.
for him
The best thing for the
every
show.
day?
It is.
Bill
I mean, it's
Thorpe
easy.
thanks God for Donald Trump.
I do. Honestly, at some level, I actually do.
All right. I think it's going to happen no matter what. We shall see. James Comer last hour in D.C.
Today, the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform meets to advance 2 resolutions recommending that the House of Representatives find former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with duly issued subpoenas. The committee does not take this action lightly, but subpoenas are not mere suggestions. They carry the force of law and require compliance.
Oh, God. I wish. I will not hold my breath, but let's see what happens with that one.
Well, I mean, I think we're going to see the attack on landlords, small businesses, parents. It's the same thing. Just, it's like Groundhog Day, I feel like. It's bringing back the whole name change again, right? We're going to let kids change their name.
Representative Brandy Bradley, running for re-election, represents the rural Douglas County area near Castle Rock, and introducing bills and fighting the nut jobs at the state capitol. On with the fellas this morning, once again trying to protect kids here in Colorado.
And then if you aren't willing to accommodate that, it's going to be used against you in a court of law. You know what? We have the troops assembled. Somebody said it perfectly. They thought that nothing could unify lesbians, feminists, the gay community, the conservatives. Well, they're doing it, and we are a troop, and we are not backing down. If anything, we have more fight in us than we ever have before.
Good for them. And she's excited about the Second Amendment protection bill that she's helping to introduce.
So we are repealing every gun bill that they have brought forward, or anti-gun bill, I should say, that they have brought forward to strip us of our constitutional right to keep and bear arms. And we have listed all of those out: 3-day waiting period, background checks on the private transfer of firearms, you name it, it's in this bill. We are going to battle. We believe that it's our constitutional right.
Well, it should pick up downtown this week, probably tomorrow and into Friday and into the weekend because of the AFC Championship game. Just a lot of people that come into town, and the excitement is here for the Patriots and the Broncos. Bo Nix was scheduled to have ankle surgery on Tuesday. Haven't heard anything about that, if it went well or not. Of course, Jarrett Stidham takes over for him at quarterback, and they're back on the practice field today in preparation for that game. Once again, kickoff 1 o'clock on Sunday. Back to the WEF real quick. You may have saw Macron with his sunglasses yesterday. Here's what DJT had to say.
Well, Macron, I watched him yesterday with those beautiful sunglasses. What the hell happened?
I think I know what happened. He may have gotten a little fight with his wife or whatever that is again.
Whatever that is.
Maybe he got punched in the eye socket or something.
I don't know. The dude that's wearing hand makeup because of random bruises maybe should be pointing out other people's possible random bruises. Just saying.
All right, I saw
good.
a guy do analysis, and he thinks, and I think he might be right, that the thickness of glasses, the frames, is directly correlated to how liberal you are.
Oh.
And he went and looked at Warren
that's
Bogart's
a good
glasses frames, Sarah Palin's glasses frames, very thin. And then you have Rachel Maddow, very thick. Oprah, very thick. So, just a theory.
That's interesting. You know what? He's on to something there.
This is the type of brilliant commentary people tune into the Jeff Moore.
Yes, it is.
I think we know what happened to Macron, though. Absolutely. All right. Hey, Jeff, you got swatted by the wind. That was a great story 2 hours ago. That was great. you took that shot on the cruise. You were playing that basketball, that pickup game, and the wind.
Got to take your shot.
Absolutely, take your shot. There you go. And the wind just swatted that thing. Man, that was a pretty good story. 27 in Lakewood, 26 in Broomfield, and 28 in Denver. Oh, I didn't say the Nuggets lose to the Lakers, 115-107. Doncic, 38 points. You're waking up with Jeff and Billy on a Wednesday. That's what happens
the
after
Arctic
Jeff
Express
gives his goats to Mary and Cheyenne. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
The Arctic Express is going to graze the Front Range and Eastern Plains of Colorado here late this week and over the weekend. Be prepared for some winter temperatures, but not for today. We're going to be mid to upper 40s, upper 30s tomorrow, and teens tonight. The cold air begins to leak in Thursday night. Much colder. Lows 5 to 10 with areas of flurries. Very cold Friday, cold northeast winds, highs only teens with some areas of light snow. Some areas of light snow, lows near zero Friday night, high Saturday only teens with areas of light snow. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. The Tour de Colorado has brought up
the Arctic Express is going to...
Went out east.
Yes.
Went out west. Been all over the state of Colorado. One of those things is the winter drought, which we'll get to as well, but that's definitely going to affect the economy.
Yeah.
Bigly.
I'm a little scared.
I was a river guide in 2001. That was when Bill Owens said the entire state was on fire. And those of us in the tourist industry said, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
That helps.
Who wrote that for you? Did you workshop that first? It could have been some other choices
But I
there.
sat through just crummy water. I mean, just it took our trips, cut them in half, essentially. I had to sit there and pull boats over rocks all summer.
Yeah, and we've got the house of the family. We've been in the family. It's not mine, but it's been in the family for years. And it is near the headwaters of the Colorado.
Act like Trump and claim it.
I know. I won't, because I'm not that brilliant to have purchased land there when we needed it. So I'm not that smart. And it's right near the headwaters of the Colorado, and we watch annually, and you can tell early in spring what the runoff is going to be like, and it depends on how fast that river's running and how high it is. And after a number of years, you can read it, and I've been seeing this thing for decades, and I remember those really, really low fallow years, and it gets sad because you drive by some of those mountain lakes, and you see sandbars that didn't exist. I remember seeing a bunch of people fishing off a sandbar in the middle of a lake that didn't exist. That sandbar didn't exist the year before. We got 12 people out there fishing. It was that big. Wow. That's what I'm worried about.
Two-channel Mike in Westminster, goat versus snake, now on pay-per-view 6.
Depends on how big the snake is, because most of the time goats will win. But you get to a certain size, you get those reticulated, you get those Burmese pythons, and nom, 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 goat. Yeah, they'll do those, but my snake's not even close.
Let's go to the phone lines. Jeff in Golden. Good morning, Jeff. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Yeah, morning, Jeff. Thanks for hanging. What's up?
Yeah. How are you guys?
Good. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Tell us about your ideas on Colorado and the economy.
Yeah, I got a lot. I actually wrote down. I got like 4 points, but Jeff will probably hang up on me before I get to anything. But
I warned him about it.
I don't even touch the buttons.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't get to. Yeah,
go ahead.
He doesn't. But I did tell him that. I told him that Jeff, you'd have something that would make him very happy and also very angry at the same time.
Oh, I have a lot of stuff that make him happy and very angry. It's funny, Jeff. And I listen to you guys. I've listened to you guys every day.
Oh, thanks.
It's funny that you and me, Bill, we have a lot more in common on so many things, but maybe the political side I am with Jeff, but Jeff and I swear to God, I couldn't be any more of a different person than I think, Jeff. I mean, it's like, why are you getting rid of the goats, Jeff?
Because they're just glorified pets at this point. You
can hear the love exuding from his voice.
It's just money.
You live out in rural. Come on, buddy. You're a rural guy. Put on your boots. Take care of them. I mean, you just.
If I had the ability to turn them into goat meat, but nobody does anything with goat meat. It's like kind of.
Milk.
I don't know.
You can make so much milk and cheese, dude. What are you talking about?
Nah.
No, here's the thing. Okay, wait.
I
got to do this.
Nigerian dwarfs.
Yeah,
though.
I got to expose this, Jeff, just for a second, because I love my partner Jeff on the air. So I'm talking to Jeff and Golden. You got to understand that that the hunt family household had the opportunity to purchase goats that produce meat. And they also had the opportunity to purchase goats that produce milk. And then they have an opportunity to produce really cute goats that run around and do cute things on the farm.
Yes.
And they chose cute.
Yes, exactly right.
And Jeff is super, as you can tell, he is super happy about the choices that were made.
Crazy. So, hey, just a quick one, too. Did you hear, did you hear, Bill, this is for Bill, that Melvin is suing Fat Mike? You know about that? You know what I'm talking about?
Seriously, they're suing Fat Mike? No way. Melvins are?
I think so, Mel. Yeah, like the last show or something, and then they walked off the stage and he handed him papers.
Oh, crap. I'll have to go check that out, man. Oh, my God. Okay, thank you. I'll go look. Thank you.
42 years, together.
Yeah.
Pretty
Damn,
heartbreaking.
that sucks. Okay, thanks, man.
Yeah. All right, number one. I wrote them in order. It's just kind of interesting. Number one, on Greenland, I think you got to win the people over, and I think that's with money. And if we can get even private investment, whatever, we could raise a boatload of money in this country. And if there's a number, everybody's got a number, you know what I mean? And I bet if you could put enough, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 in the pocket of every one of those people up there, it's a done deal. I really think that we got enough dollars in this country to do that, privately, if you had to. Yeah, not a bad idea.
Is that with regards to taking over Greenland? Is that right? Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just buy it.
I don't think you need military. I just think there's a number. There's not that many people up there, and these politicians in Europe could say all they want, but if you come to the table with enough money and you guarantee that to every person and maybe every year and all that stuff, I think that's fairly easy.
What's funny about that, Jeff? Just to get on a tangent for a sec, I saw a guy writing out of Greenland, an author, just doing a kind of an editorial in the past 2 weeks, and he was talking about that idea, and he operated off the premise of Trump is offering every Greenland resident $100,000 for the purchase. And the way that he couched it was Trump offers every Greenland resident $100,000 for the purchase or one trip to an American doctor. And that was the idea that what the Greenland people would have to give up on the other end, is it worth it? And the number one priority that he keeps talking about is that he hears from people in Greenland that it's the healthcare system. They're not willing to give up their healthcare system to go with ours.
I don't know. My healthcare is pretty cool. I mean, I've been starting to shift over to my cell phone, and I talked to my doctor in Boston, on a Sunday evening during a football game, and it was awesome. You know what I mean? It's just, people just got to start, you know what I mean? You don't have to go into a doctor office as much anymore. I mean, they've got these little clinics where you can at least get measured and weight and do the, your hard factual data, but I don't know. I think people just need to evolve with the healthcare. Number two, I want to get to this one. Okay, so I did a couple quick searches, and I, too, spend a ton of time up in the northeastern side. Fort Morgan, I grew up recreating up there at Empire Reservoir. It's a big lake that you see on the side of the road, side I-76 up there. Bill, I don't know if you ever noticed that one, but
yeah.
Yeah, I've been going up there. We joined that lake up there in the, late 60s or whatever. Been up there. We own property forever. Anyway, the $51 million is what we've sold this year for sugar beets, okay? That's that's kind of their main crop up there, right? And everything like that. And then I did a number. What's another crop in Colorado right now that we grow? Marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana.
Okay. And we're geniuses that we put that inside the city, and all this stuff, right? Well, they just broke $1.1 billion in sales for marijuana this year. Okay, that's a drop in a bucket for this beet farmer up there. Well, the problem is, and I've been saying this and thinking about this for a long time, out in the more like southern Nebraska area, there's huge amounts of area there where marijuana grows just naturally. They can't even get rid of it. It's just for some reason, it's just a, perfect climate and everything like that. I've always said that we need to incentivize marijuana growing in these areas, rural, even Colorado, Kansas, whatever. They're typically totally against it. Kind of like Jeff is, marijuana bad. We don't look at any other way. It's just bad, period. Just make it go away. Well, I think that's purple Colorado. Colorado's purple. You got to kind of get to the middle, You know what I mean? I think that's kind of how it's a good, good thing about our
think,
states.
yeah,
But
I
if you
think,
made
now, Jeff, we're going to move you on to your next point
Yeah.
here in a second, but I think there's a point there because there is somewhat of a golden triangle zone in the southern and eastern part of Colorado for the growth and cultivation for marijuana, that the climate down there year-round actually allows for outdoor growth and cultivation because the winters are incredibly mild given growing conditions. So, but that, yeah, it would be hard. Just the idea of getting into the small towns, and it just would be, fields and fields of marijuana crops, and then, oh boy, is that going to be fun come homecoming time for the kids in the high schools.
No, you would do majority of it in greenhouse and hoop house. There's not much outdoor. That would be more for you couldn't sell, this has to, for consumable types, you'd have to do that in a greenhouse. Maybe for hemp or something like that, you could probably do in these big fields, wheat fields, they say.
Yeah, hemp's got something.
But
so what's number three? What's number three on the list?
Well, there's a lot of people. Let me get there. But I'm just saying for security is a big one. That's the problem with the marijuana. People in the Eastern Plains stuff have guns, and they would be easily, the theft isn't a problem. Jeff would attest to it. Like out where he's living, he's not too worried about theft. Anyway, that's just the reason that they want to move it out into the plains. The other one, I would say move NRL. Okay, that's here in Golden or places like it. They need to move these places out into the rural areas, like in Kansas, where there is the wind. Why do we have these huge research laboratories right here in Golden, where it's expensive and the property is expensive and they're building up there and it's just super expensive? They need to move some of that stuff out into these, move some of these programs that are like really blue, incentivize a red area, rural areas to put stuff like that. I don't think manufacturing.
Jeff, I like that idea, but I just don't know how they'll get their lattes and.
How do they get what?
Their lattes.
Yeah, and the avocados, where the avocados come from.
And their craft beer. And
I think that would separate the people that are truly, because some people up there probably are, definitely for the environment and, want to be that person. And they would, I think that you would separate some of those people. Some people are like, no, am I here just to work in, to get my latte and everything? Or do I really care about the environment and I'm trying to push this agenda to save the planet? There's two different people.
Jeff,
so
I like that one. I appreciate the call. Thanks so much, Jeff. We've got to run here.
Time. Thank you.
Let's talk advanced hair restoration. How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I could achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there's no one I trust more. In hair restoration, their simple FUE treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and your new hair is backed by the Advanced Hair Guarantee. Simply put, Advanced Hair's exceptional standard of care makes your comfort and your results their top priority. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR. That's 720-459-HAIR. Discover what meeting your resolution could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com. Cap Hill Phil texting in. I believe you can come Bob a cute goat.
That's funny.
We should just clip that and be like, try to figure out what we were talking about.
Yeah, what were we talking about here?
I still believe you can kebab a cute goat.
You can have your own food truck. Cute kebabs.
Oh, goodness. Luckily, my wife's on a plane.
I know. That's what we're doing this today because she can't listen.
The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710 KNUS. Wait, did Jeff's text message just go off? Oh, it's the wife.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. Phone line's super hot on this issue. It's pushed all the way into the second hour. I just was remarking on them driving all around eastern Colorado, all around southwestern Colorado, and just businesses boarded up everywhere.
Yeah, and the thing is that you spend some time as a river guide, as you talk about on the show.
Yeah.
And so you have experience driving through these small towns and being in these communities a number of years ago.
In the early 2000s.
Yeah, and so you're rolling back
Hopping.
2 decades later, and you're seeing places that you remember, but now they're closed. That's what started the conversation this morning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it used to be hopping, man. I just thought this industry was going to, the whole rec industry, the Western, but it seems like everything's coalesced around the ski towns.
Yeah.
And gotten really expensive there. And then all these other small towns with no manufacturing, no opportunity, just boarded up restaurants after boarded up restaurants, shops all boarded up. It was wild.
Yeah, and we were talking about the loss of family farms and corporate farms.
Yeah.
Did a little research during one of the breaks, and it looks like the majority of Colorado farms are family-owned. And what I mean by that is somewhere around 80% of Colorado farms are family-owned. But farms aren't equal to farmland, even though about 80% of our farms are owned by family farmers. They only have 50% of the farmland. So understand that 80% of the family farms only control 50% of the growing opportunities.
Control the other
50%. Yeah, it's a change. That'll impact a lot of different small communities.
Let's talk Guy Rees. My wife and I went to Guy Rees recently. They're all over the Denver metro area. We went to the one in Parker and had an absolutely fantastic experience. We sat down with their professional designer who showed us an incredible selection of Hunter Douglas custom blinds, shades, and shutters. I was a little overwhelmed at first. I've never worked with a personal designer. We used to buy all our blinds online, and they crummy. Now we got to sit down with a personal designer, and she was a real pro. Helped us through everything and helped us find the perfect option to enhance the look and functionality of our home. So whether your curtains are clashing or you just want a fresh look, Guy Rees has the solutions for you. Their designers are the experts. They can help you with everything from window treatments to full room decor. But here's the best part. They come directly to you with a personalized in-home consultation. They bring it all out there, including lasers to measure it. So you can get the same expert advice right in your own home. Do yourself a favor and get started today. You'll love it. And guys, take your wife. She can ask lots of questions and dream and explore new options for your home. And it's very affordable. Go to GuyRees.com, GUIRYS.com, GUIRYS.com. Go see the great people at Guy Rees. You'll be sure to thank me. Let's go to the phone lines. Frank in Evergreen. Good morning, Frank. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Quick thing on Greenland, but I would like to talk about the farm situation, too. Trump announced about 2 hours ago that we won't be invading Greenland, so all you people with TDS, you can take that off your hit list.
It's a missed opportunity in my book.
Good one. I think people with TDS really do themselves a disservice by not at least listening to what Trump says, because when they speak, and they speak what the rest of us all know as a lie, they just, ruin their own credibility. Anyway, the other thing is that as far as the farm situation, rural situation, Obamacare destroyed rural health care, as we all know. And now Trump has put money back into it. It'll be coming back here soon. And without health care, it's hard to live anywhere. And as Billy just said about Greenland, actually. And here's the truth, too, is that none of our politicians, I'm saying Democrat, Republican, have done us a lot of favors in terms of the way foreign countries have treated us, in terms of the way they've treated our products. They've locked down our products. They've made them cost a lot more for us to export. And the tariff thing, and I know Billy's anti-tariff. The tariff thing is going to change all that, and it's going to take some time. Our country is, as we all know, capitalism. American capitalism is quarter by quarter. If your company doesn't make a profit every quarter, by the second or third quarter, you're out of business. And that's a fact. That's a reality we all live with in America. But the truth is that long term, the tariffs are going to save our country. I'm talking long term being 20, 30, 40 years from now. Because before we had an income tax, we had tariffs. And that's how we lived. And America was a very wealthy country. We had no debt.
Question for you, Frank, on that.
Go ahead.
What would tariff levels have to be to replace income tax?
Well, we're going to find out, hopefully.
No, Frank, it's a math question.
I don't know the answer, Billy. I'll be honest.
All I'm saying, Frank, I'm just advising, before you start advocating that we replace income tax with tariff taxes, then do the math, and then come back and talk about whether or not it's economically viable.
I didn't advocate that, Billy. I just stated a simple fact.
You said a stated a simple fact that we used to have them. We don't need the income tax. That's where you're going with this. That's what you said. That at one point we didn't have the income tax. We survived all based on tariffs. And so I said, because of that, what would tariff levels have to be in order to replace the income tax? That's a fair, objective question based on math. Well, so before we advocate, for it, do the math.
Keep in mind that we're talking 20, 30, 40 years from now before we actually hit the point where we potentially wouldn't need income tax.
But again, that still would increase. That would still be a price rise.
It could be 3 years for all I know.
Yeah, but that would be a price rise in the goods, and you could look at that over amortization over the years.
We're going through a sea change, and at this point in time, that sea change is still progressing forward. Of course, we have an election coming up in a few months, and then another presidential election every 4 years, and so we know how these things happen in America. The Republicans come in, they do their thing. Democrats, Republicans mess with us for a few years, and Democrats come and mess with us for years. So this whole tariff thing, at least we have started the conversation. I'll put it that way. And before this, everybody, and I remember this in college too. People say, "Oh, tariff bad, tariff bad, tariff bad." Well, as it turns out, tariffs aren't necessarily bad. And, this is what we have as a nation. We have to go through this change because otherwise we're just going to be bankrupt.
Yeah, Frank and Evergreen, I appreciate that perspective because when I drive out to those rural communities, I go, something has to change on this. And that's why I'm kind of open to tariffs. Like you, I came through the whole Reagan 80s, 90s going, oh, no, free market. I'm sitting there going, it has devastated these communities. We've got to at least talk about new options. All right, let's talk Mountain High Appliance. Looking to upgrade your kitchen, laundry room, or outdoor cooking area? Look no further than Mountain High Appliances, family-owned and operated for the past 31 years. They have hundreds of appliances hooked up for you to have a true try-before-you-buy experience. Why go to those big box stores where you're just going to get cheap stuff? Go to the quality Mountain High Appliance. They offer professional delivery and installation. Shop confidently with the price match guarantee, ensuring you get the best deal. Special financing options. When it's time for appliances, think Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store. 3 locations in the Denver metro area or online at mountainhighappliance.com. That's mountainhighappliance.com. Frank, Denver. Good morning, Frank. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, I just want to first say that Trump missed an excellent opportunity this morning when he was speaking at the WEF. He should have got up there and said, we need to change this to the WTF. And
That's good.
A good one.
But anyway, Jeff, I wanted to say to you that your observations are absolutely spot on. I've been making them for about 40 years as I've driven around this beautiful state, sightseeing, camping, hunting, fishing, and all these. It's just and the Lion King is the cycle of life. It's the people that get sick of living in the cities where 90% of the population in America usually lives. And they want to get out, but it's hard to make it for some of the reasons that some of the other callers have mentioned. It's a tougher life, but all these services are not always necessarily governmental, but they're necessary to a productive society and a society that has good health care and all these other things. But I think talking about energy, there's a guy named Crowther, Richard Crowther, who wrote a book called Sun Earth in the 1970s. He was an energy expert, and the highest energy efficient dwelling is to actually dig yourself into the side of a south-facing mountain, and you pick up the 58-degree ambient temperature of the dirt, and then you have glass on the south side. We could simply, with our modern construction, put in more southern-facing glass that would pick up energy during the day, and then when you have to go further into solar collectors and batteries, then you start costing more money, having to pull things out of the Earth's surface to make batteries and all these other things. So man is constantly waxing and waning. He is coming up with a few good things. I'm not sure about the wind turbines. I think you could change the design of them and make them into small rectangles. It could be later after they've started to fatigue, use them for construction and build in things for them to off-gas so you wouldn't poison the inhabitants.
Multi-use products is what Thomas Sowell talks about in Basic Economics.
Yeah, and just very smart construction that can take advantage of available conditions.
Well, it's why you don't ever buy a north-facing house in Colorado, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Or driveway.
Never buy north-facing driveway
in Colorado.
We have a south-facing driveway. The two people across the street from us that did not shovel their snow that we got earlier on Monday, they still have snow. They still have snow all over their driveway. And there is an area that is north-facing in our neighborhood where the drain doesn't work so well. And if the homeowners don't go out and smash the ice, it becomes a literal glacier that becomes incredibly dangerous for anybody to navigate. Yeah, never buy a north-facing driveway.
Speaking of great human engineering, let's talk modern rugged leather. This is the bag that I got from them.
Yes, check it out on video.
Absolutely my favorite bag ever. I used to rely on cheap bags. And this is high-quality, handcrafted, premium, responsibly sourced leather designed to look sharp, last long, and tell a story of its own. Each stitch, buckle, and strap reflects timeless craftsmanship and is backed by a lifetime warranty because quality shouldn't quit when the adventure begins. Whether it's in the boardroom or the back roads, modern rugged leather helps you carry confidence every step of the way. Modern rugged leather, modern style, timeless durability, backed for life. Look, life's going to take you places. Make sure your gear keeps up. Shop the full collection. Find yours today at modernrugged.com. This is the best leather bag I've ever owned. Got to check them out. That's modernrugged.com. We'll continue with your phone calls and texts. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader News Talk 710 KNUS.
Well, Billy, you finally did it. 8714 texting in saying, I love your show, and Billy and I love disagreeing and debating with you. But talking smack about my north-facing house, that's where I draw the line.
I was just texting back to that person. You're fantastic. Oh, you're the best. You're fantastic.
All right. We love you guys. This summer, the future of American conservatism takes center stage at the Western Conservative Summit, July 31st through August 1st at Colorado Christian University as we mark the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. The summit will gather under the theme, A New Birth of Freedom, Reigniting the American Dream. This is a moment to reflect and recommit to the truths that make America exceptional, that our rights come from God, not government. I still can't believe I get calls from people that say that they think the rights come from government. That's a failure of civics. That among these are the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that government exists to secure those rights, not to redefine them. Join national leaders, scholars, policymakers, and other principled voices for 2 days of serious conversation about where we've been and where we must go next. Registration opens soon. Learn more at westernconservativesummit.com. That's westernconservativesummit.com. All right, so much that we talked about today is rural Colorado collapsing. Boarded up businesses everywhere. We're consolidating around major cities. Well, we talked about the future of Colorado. If you missed any of that, go to 710knus.com. We also spoke with Brandy Bradley about all the craziness happening down at the Colorado State Capitol, the bills she's introducing to fight for our constitutionally protected rights, as well as some of the bad bills that Democrats are bringing.
Yeah, and she thinks there may be some persuadable Democrats that will support some of the GOP priorities simply because the other people in the Democrat caucus are way too socialist.
Wild show. So go to 710knus.com to download the podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with all analysis on Trump's speech in Europe. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
Remember, south-facing driveways are the best. We love you. KNUS.